First you'll want to take your craft foam and measure how high you want it to run up the crown of the hat. Then you'll want to measure the length of the plates on the sides and transfer those measurements onto your craft foam. After you've got everything measured, you can go ahead and cut them out. So here we're going to start drawing out the actual design of the plate. Now I did this out of order, but I made a template out of paper when I was happy with the design that I made. I did this so I could fold the template in half and for both sides to be identical. When I finished the template, I transferred it onto the craft foam. After that you should be done. I just had to double up the layers to have the correct thickness. Also, a quick tip about hats, you should leave them resting on their crown and not on their brim to avoid any warping. Here I'm just adding that extra layer with some glue. And once that's done, it should look like this. Here I'm drawing the design I see on the reference photos. It's not too difficult to draw. My design looked like this, but I realize now that it looks a little different in the shows. There's more little squares. Then you can either seal the foam with wood glue or Plastidip, and then you just have to paint and weather it. Another option is 3D printing the plates. This is more time consuming, although it is more accurate. The first thing you'll want to do with these 3D prints is any cleanup, get the little raw edges off, and any little pieces that came off weird. The next thing you'll want to do is sand so you can get a smooth texture and even surface. A trick I learned was to use a soldering iron to clean up the edges because it'll melt the plastic together. And if it's cold outside or you're in a rush, you can speed up the drying process with a hair dryer and a cardboard box. Just don't leave them in there too long, otherwise they'll start melting. This is what mine turned out looking like. When the paint's done drying, you can take down the shine with a Brillo pad or steel wool, or very fine grit sandpaper. Here I'm just using the black, so ignore the gray, but I'm painting the little square details black because that's what it looks like in the show. And then once you finish that, you can give it a black wash so that the black stays in the little crevices and cracks. And then you can just rub that off and it should make it look really weathered. The next thing you'll want to do is remove the original hat band if it came with one. So that's what I'm doing right here. Last step is to put everything together and finish it. Here I'm measuring the distance between the two plates in the front and back of the crown based on the reference images. And then I'm measuring how much leather I'm going to need in order to wrap all the way around the crown. I glued the new leather band to the side plates to make removal easier in case I ever wanted to switch them out. You can't see this part, but I'm using super glue to attach both ends of the band together in the back. Then once you finish attaching the band and the plates, it's time to weather the actual hat. I'm using 1 part paint, 2 part water to get this dirty, muddy color. I'm dabbing the paint in with a small brush to add these fake sweat stains. These will be all around where the brim meets the sweatband and even on the front and back of the crown. The last step is airbrushing. I'll be using this to add fake sand, colors, and textures around the entirety of the hat to make it look like it's really been through a desert. And if you don't have an airbrush, you can probably achieve the same appearance with sawdust or actual sand. I did the top side first, and now I'm going to work on the underside of the brim. I really hope you enjoyed this how-to video. Stay tuned because I will be making the rest of the costume as well. Peace.